I'm going to talk about something a little bit difficult, and that's why do we blame the victim? Why do we blame the victim? Kind of like we talked about narcissistic abuse. If someone's been narcissistically abused, they blame the person, saying, well, you attracted that person to you. No, you were attracted to the person they pretended to be, and you got victimized. It's a very different dynamic than what people think. This happens with victim blaming, especially in rape and crimes, people that are conned out of money. Everybody says, well, you put yourself in a position to have that happen to you. Do people put themselves in a position to have bad things happen? Yes, they do, but not all the time. People do get blindsided. So why do we do this? There's a lot of research on this. There's two major reasons. One of them is we want to believe the world is safe and just, and it's not. I think COVID sort of taught us all that. The world is not safe, it's not just, it's not fair. And people think, well, if that happened to you, it could happen to me, therefore it must be your fault. It makes people feel better. It takes away their anxiety that the world isn't just. And another reason is that people are just judgmental. Like, well, if that happened to me, I would be victimized, but it happened to you, so there must be a reason. You put yourself in that position. You knew it, and you did it anyway. Be very careful of people like that. Beware with whom you share if you are a victim, if you have been victimized. And you don't want to play the victim and stay that way forever. You can use cognitive behavioral therapy to have this part of your story, but not part of your life. It's something that happened to you, but it doesn't define you. And it can actually refine you. But be sure that you don't go around and find people who are going to keep blaming you for what happened to you. Because number one, people want to believe there's a just world and it's safe when we know it's not. Deep down, we know it's not. And then if something happens to someone else, they might think, well, bad things happen to me and I didn't have anything to do with it. But if something bad happens to you, it must be your fault. It's just that judgmental bone that people have. So hopefully you can understand and gain some insight about this and no longer blame the victim, but step back and look and see where they might have been, how they might have been victimized. And it could happen to you. It could happen to any of us. So anyway, the world is not just, it's not fair, but you can make it safer, especially for victims, by just being aware and being kind and being less judgmental, more observational. And I hope this helped you understand why we blame the victim and maybe why we shouldn't.